All right, welcome. We are here at Local Globe Open House. I'm Seb from Scaling Europe, and I'm joined here with Selim from Nothing. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you just give us a quick introduction to who you are?
Yeah, so I'm Selim, currently working as the lead of AI product at Nothing. Before that, I was a founder myself, founded two companies. One was called Rosy Reality in the early days of augmented reality, hence the name. And the other one was bento.me, which was sort of a revival of MySpace.
And both had successful exits. They were, I think you're being modest a bit. You had founded two great companies, and they had great results.
Yeah.
What has brought you back into, stop being an entrepreneur, but now building at a startup?
Yeah, good question. Almost a philosophical question, because I believe as a founder, it's very difficult to step into a company that is not your own.
Yeah.
And I had that experience. For instance, Bento, we got acquired by Linktree, and sort of operating within Linktree, that was not 100% the DNA that I forged myself. It was not the teams that I hired. Was challenging. Luckily, I got to work with the two founders, so this was really fun. But then at one point, I just noticed I hit sort of a culture that I'm not too comfortable with.
Mhm.
And so I thought to found something myself again, right? So I took a step back and was thinking of what to do next in that age of AI. But then I got a call from Carl, Carl, the founder of Nothing. And I always had tremendous respect for him as a person. He's almost the same age as me, founded two unicorns by now. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, he's legit.
Yeah.
So I then started to sort of get to know him, and then I saw he's that type of founder who wants to work with other founders because he believes in that entrepreneurial power inside of a company. And then smartly, he gives you sort of let's say, the reign over a bigger part of the business that as a founder, you feel comfortable.
So you've got the autonomy to kind of do your own thing. And
His mandate was join Nothing and build a software company inside of Nothing. And that was really enticing because that's something I did before. And he stayed honest and true to his word. That's what I'm doing today.
And it's been 6 months?
Yes.
How's it been the first 6 months?
A blur. But it's fun. Fun, intense, creative, innovative. So it's all the good parts of being in a fastly scaling, by now, unicorn.
Yeah. And we're here at Open Court. The kind of the theme of the evening is all about hardware, AI, software.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess, what are you doing here? What role are you going to play this evening?
Yeah, this evening I'm going to be speaking about how we try to marry software, in our case, AI-specific software, with hardware, be it phones or earbuds or watches or any new form factor that might.
And can you talk a bit about that? Like, kind of give a sneak peek to what you'll be talking about later?
I will be able to talk about phones and earbuds and watches, but not so much about the next device.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But can you talk about it now? Can you talk about like, what does that mean, implementing kind of AI software in a phone or kind of AirPods?
Yeah, I mean, implementing it in a phone, I think, or just generally hardware, I think you need to start to design for capability drift in a way, where the software starts to expand its capabilities very dynamically over time. It's very adaptive to the environment, to the user. It can get very personal. And so how do you sort of marry that with a rather static hardware piece, right? And sort of that's a lot of the thinking that we do in the team. And so we try to decouple sort of hardware capabilities with software capabilities. And we try to design more for sort of intent capture in a way. So we try to be where the user intent is. So if for instance, you want to search something or you want to order something or want to call something, we try to be there for you in the moment that sort of intent arises.
Amazing. Okay. And what are some of the challenges that you face by kind of trying to marry the software with the hardware?
I mean, there are many. So from an organizational perspective, thinking about Nothing as an organization, and that's why sort of Carl asked me to build a software company, is as a startup, you keep on repeating what made you successful, right? Especially at the beginning, because we have to take a step back. Nothing is 4.5-ish years old, even though it looks like a very mature company from the inside, from the outside. From the inside, it's a 4.5-year-old fast scaling startup. So there's a lot that breaks, a lot that sort of is not figured out yet. And so you try to hold on to whatever you can, whatever made you successful, and you try to keep on repeating. And so for Nothing, that means they build a very strong hardware DNA. They know how to execute on a world-class level on hardware. They created an iconic new phone, the phone 1 at the time. They're brilliant in executing on audio devices, right? And so they kept on repeating that. And so now all of a sudden, sort of software becomes much more a differentiating factor as well. Now that we have new entrants into the market that try to build hardware themselves, previously software companies, we need to pay more attention to software. And so we need to introduce that idea into the teams. And that brings these challenges of different rhythm, different cadence. If you launch hardware, you measure 100 times, you cut once. We all know software is the other way around, right? You start cutting, and then you start iterating once it's on the market. You're very close to the user. That's sort of the power of software. So it's on the opposite side of that spectrum, right? And these are organizational challenges, for instance, that we need to overcome.
And how have you been able to overcome them? Are you trying to build the team based on, kind of the culture that has existed within the hardware company and better kind of apply it to software? Or are you taking a very different approach? Does it need a different mindset?
Yeah, I found it needs a way different mindset. And so we're, in a way, just step by step bringing that into the company by, working very closely with marketing that previously was very comfortable with dictating the narrative. Because if you launch hardware, it's a beautiful thing because you can tell a very coherent story and you can manage that story because you have long lead times, right? With software, not so much. You launch it on Twitter or on social, and then you're going to see what happens in a way. Obviously, you can tell the story, but it's much more
you get
fast-lived.
feedback quick,
Correct.
Yeah.
And so being very close to marketing obviously helps, making them understand, showing them the product, dog fooding them the product over and over again, right? So they have an understanding of what they're actually supposed to communicate. So yeah, we're taking sort of a grounds up approach.
And is there a certain type of person that you're looking for who has got software experience in a hardware company, or are you taking people from different backgrounds?
I think to be innovative, you need a diverse group of people.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're looking across the spectrum.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier about it being a unicorn.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was last week before. It was like officially
so.
announced as I think it raised $200 million, at just over $1 billion valuation.
Yeah.
What was that like, within the company?
Within the company, just another Tuesday.
Really?
Literally. I think that's sort of if you're playing the game, I think these things happened way before.
Yeah.
And so once they hit public, or once they sort of hit the general public, for you, it's done and dusted, right? It's sort of a bit also the curse of a founder in a way. It's tough to be happy in these moments because you're already thinking about the challenges that come with that announcement, right? So you're already in the future.
Yeah, okay.
Right? But yeah, probably we should take more time to celebrate these things because it's also good for the teams.
Yeah, it was an amazing achievement, and
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's rare. There aren't that many, especially consumer hardware businesses across Europe that have seen the success that Nothing has seen. I think it's millions of devices that have been sold.
Yeah.
So it's a phenomenal achievement. And what was the public reaction? Did you get a sense of how customers or public people reacted to the news?
So the reaction from the public was nice, was gratifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sort of gave you the sense that you're doing something that is worth putting in the energy.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of Nothing community members that were really happy. They were celebrating sort of this N of one company in a way. So yeah, it was a nice moment to browse social and sort of get that, or the messages you get on WhatsApp, and so that was nice. And it sort of established this feeling that we all have that Nothing really is an N of one. So it's sort of a unique company in Europe in the sense that we have a strong design presence in Europe, a strong ethos, how we want to sort of deliver these products. And then we have a strong team in Shenzhen that is able to help us, right, manufacture that and be very quick about it, be cost efficient about it, and sort of marrying these two sides of the globe and really, 1 + 1 in that case is more than 2. I think it's unique.
Yeah, amazing. I wanted to ask about because I guess with the fundraising, the announcement, you're moving to a more, you're talking about AI much more as a company and tying AI towards hardware. But I wanted to ask about AI usage within the company. Is the internal culture within Nothing to be like, okay, there's a new tool out.
Yeah.
We have to upskill. We have to use it. What's it like inside Nothing?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a gradient, as you might imagine, where the peak adoption is engineering teams or product teams, design teams. That's peak adoption, right? We throw that subscription money to anything that kind of looks cool, right? Which sort of helps with market, propping up the market, right? But it's also it's nice to sort of experiment with software that helps you be more efficient, helps you be more creative, helps you be more collaborative. I think that's a big one as well. And then you sort of scale through the company. You go to marketing. I think they're also very AI native by now. They need it a lot for communication, I guess. And then you go down to maybe HR, who starts to believe in AI. So yeah, I think that sort of that gradient would reflect sort of reality right now.
And what about you personally? Are you using AI tools in your personal life? Are there bits of hardware that you've already got, which have AI elements that you particularly like or excited by?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah. I think I couldn't spend my day without many AI apps. And when we talk about hardware, I'm a sucker for like all of these little gadgets, AI gadgets that come out, be it from Europe, US, or from China. I buy them up and I test them. Sometimes I'm the guy walking around with like odd looking glasses or like a little pin here that records voice and video. And yeah, I like to experiment for sure.
And what's
part of
been
the job.
Yeah. What's been your favorite?
I think a lot of the glasses concepts out there, obviously Meta glasses, but then also glasses from the East, they're also kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some look very futuristic. They only have like one sort of glass. Some have cameras on the front and on the side. Super hearing, bone conductivity stuff.
Wow, really cool.
Yeah, so I kind of believe in that form factor as well. Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
And what about like, do you use things like AI software? Are you using those in your day-to-day life, whether it's basic OpenAI or voice tools, anything like that?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in audio AI, so AI for audio. So we do a lot with sort of how can we get more efficient with sort of transforming voice input in a way. So I wrote my little apps, for instance, for myself that sort of just help me be more efficient by just talking.
Amazing.
And then I have little cues that then sort of they know exactly what I mean and then writes an entire paragraph, for instance, just to be quicker in collaboration. Because bread and butter of leading product across a fast scaling company is level setting everyone, making them understand like what are we trying to go for and what will launch soon. And so yeah, I try to have my little tools for collab.
And you've been brought in to like build this team. How big is the team now?
The team right now, I haven't counted. I must be like 30-ish by now, if we take everything into account.
And were you brought in to build the team, or was there already a team that you came in to lead?
There was parts of the team there already, and now basically we try to. I mean, it's weird to talk about numbers, head count, because I think we should more look into sort of the outputs the outcomes that we generate, right? But yeah, it's sort of probably 30 to 45 by Q1 next year. And then we need to keep on scaling because there's a lot to build.
Yeah, that's super exciting. Well, look, I think we're out of time, Selim, but thank you so much. It's been an amazing chat, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your talk out there.
Thank you. Yeah.